What if I told you that with just a handful of the right flowers, you could turn your yard into a genuine way station for butterflies, watching them arrive, feed, lay eggs, and even complete their entire transformation right in front of your own back door, and that this genuinely impressive natural spectacle is available to any beginner, regardless of yard size. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to know exactly which flowers attract butterflies, and how to care for them so your garden becomes a genuine haven. These remarkable creatures actually want to visit and stay. If you've ever admired a garden buzzing with butterfly activity, and assumed it required some special expertise, or a genuinely large property to achieve, I want you to let that assumption go completely. Attracting butterflies is genuinely one of the most accessible, rewarding forms of wildlife gardening available to American homeowners. And it comes down to understanding a surprisingly simple principle. Butterflies need two distinct types of plants to complete their life cycle: nectar sources for adult butterflies to feed on, and host plants where females lay eggs and caterpillars actually feed and grow. A genuinely successful butterfly garden includes both, rather than focusing purely on pretty nectar flowers alone. Let's start with the nectar flowers, since these are genuinely what draws adult butterflies into your yard in the first place. Zinnias remain an absolute favorite among butterfly gardeners. Their flat, open bloom structure genuinely makes nectar easily accessible, and their long bloom season keeps butterflies visiting from early summer straight through fall. Butterfly bush, as its name genuinely suggests, produces long, fragrant flower spikes that are almost impossible for passing butterflies to resist, making it one of the single most reliable nectar plants available. Coneflower and black-eyed Susan both offer sturdy, accessible nectar sources that genuinely pull double duty, attract butterflies throughout summer while also feeding birds with their seed heads. Once flowering finishes, Lantana produces dense clusters of small blooms that genuinely stay in continuous production, providing reliable nectar access across an extended season. And phlox, particularly the tall garden varieties, offers a genuinely fragrant, colorful nectar source that many butterfly species specifically favor. Now for the genuinely essential, often overlooked half of a real butterfly garden: host plants, the specific species where butterflies actually lay their eggs and where the resulting caterpillars feed. Milkweed is genuinely the single most important host plant in American butterfly gardening. It's the only plant monarch caterpillars can eat, meaning a garden without milkweed genuinely cannot support monarch reproduction, no matter how many nectar flowers it offers. Planting milkweed varieties native to your specific region gives monarchs a genuine breeding ground rather than just a feeding stop. Parsley, dill, and fennel serve as host plants for swallowtail butterflies. These caterpillars will genuinely munch through your herb garden. And rather than viewing this as damage, recognizing it as a genuine sign of successful butterfly gardening changes the entire perspective. Planting a bit extra, specifically to share, is a simple, worthwhile trade. Violets serve as host plants for fritillary butterflies, while various native asters support several additional species. Building even a small selection of these host plants alongside your nectar flowers genuinely transforms your garden from a butterfly feeding stop into an actual butterfly nursery. Thinking about your garden's overall layout genuinely improves how effectively it attracts and supports butterflies beyond simply choosing the right individual plants. Planting in clusters rather than scattering single specimens throughout your yard makes your nectar sources significantly easier for butterflies to locate. A mass of 5 or 7 zinnias planted together creates a far more visible, attractive target than the same number of plants spread individually across a large bed. Positioning your garden in a spot sheltered from strong wind, near a fence, hedge, or the side of your house genuinely matters too, since butterflies are lightweight, delicate flyers that struggle to feed and navigate effectively in consistently windy conditions. A calm, sheltered spot keeps them comfortable and encourages longer visits. Layering plant heights, taller nectar sources, like butterfly bush toward the back or center, with lower growing options like zinnias and lantana filling in around the edges, also creates a more three-dimensional habitat that appeals to different butterfly species with varying feeding, height preferences. It's worth avoiding a few common design mistakes that unintentionally undermine an otherwise well-planned butterfly garden. Many ornamental flower varieties, particularly those bred specifically for extra showy, densely doubled petals, have actually been selectively developed in ways that reduce or entirely eliminate their nectar production. Meaning a bed full of double-flowered varieties might look beautiful to human eyes, while offering genuinely little food value to visiting butterflies. Choosing simpler, single-petaled varieties whenever possible ensures the nectar rewards your flower's promise are actually accessible and present. Similarly, decorative landscape fabric or heavy mulch layers spread directly over bare soil throughout your entire yard can eliminate genuinely important habitat for certain butterfly species that overwinter as pupae in leaf litter or loose soil near host plants, leaving at least a portion of your garden with a more natural, less heavily mulched ground cover genuinely supports this often overlooked part of the butterfly life cycle. Timing your plantings to provide continuous nectar availability across the entire warm season also genuinely extends how long your garden remains attractive to passing and resident butterflies alike. Choosing a mix of varieties with staggered bloom times, spring blooming options, true midsummer performers, and late-season bloomers that continue into fall ensures your garden offers a consistent food source throughout the entire period. Butterflies remain active in your region, rather than one impressive but brief nectar-rich window, followed by weeks of little available food. This kind of thoughtful succession planning genuinely makes the difference between a garden that briefly hosts passing butterflies and one that becomes a reliable, consistent part of the local butterfly population's regular feeding and breeding territory throughout an entire season. Now let's talk about light and temperature. Because butterflies themselves, being cold-blooded insects, are genuinely sensitive to these conditions in ways that directly affect how successfully your garden attracts and supports them. Most butterfly-attracting flowers need 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight daily, and this matters doubly for butterfly gardening specifically, since butterflies themselves genuinely prefer feeding in sunny, warm locations. They rely on external warmth to regulate their body temperature and become more active in direct sun. Meaning, a shaded nectar garden will genuinely attract noticeably fewer visitors than an identical planting in full sun. As for temperature, most butterfly species become active once temperatures consistently reach the mid-60s Fahrenheit and above, and providing a few flat stones in a sunny spot within your garden gives butterflies a genuine warming perch. They'll bask with wings spread to absorb solar heat before becoming active enough to feed, a small addition that meaningfully increases how much time butterflies actually spend visibly present in your garden. There's genuinely fascinating scientific research behind butterfly behavior and habitat needs that's worth understanding as you plan your garden. Entomological research has documented that butterflies rely heavily on both visual and scent cues to locate nectar sources. They're genuinely drawn to specific colors, particularly reds, oranges, yellows, and purples, and to flowers with strong fragrance, which is precisely why the varieties discussed here, chosen specifically for their color and scent profile, genuinely outperform less butterfly-friendly options in actually drawing visitors. Research on monarch butterfly populations specifically has documented significant declines over recent decades, closely tied to habitat loss and reduced milkweed availability across their migratory range, meaning that planting milkweed in a home garden genuinely contributes to a documented conservation effort rather than simply serving a decorative purpose. Beyond the butterfly science itself, there's meaningful research on the human well-being benefits of observing wildlife activity in a garden setting specifically. Studies in environmental psychology have found that gardens supporting visible wildlife activity, birds, butterflies, and other pollinators, are associated with measurably higher reported satisfaction and engagement, compared to similarly beautiful gardens lacking this kind of living activity, suggesting that a butterfly garden doesn't just support butterflies. It genuinely enhances your own experience of the space in a way flowers alone cannot fully replicate. Watering correctly in a butterfly garden follows familiar principles, with one additional consideration worth building in specifically for your winged visitors. Check soil moisture by pressing a finger about 2 inches into the soil, watering deeply whenever it feels dry rather than sticking to a fixed schedule. This consistency genuinely keeps your nectar and host plants healthy and productive throughout the season. Beyond your plant's own needs, consider adding a simple butterfly puddling station, a shallow dish filled with damp sand or soil, kept consistently moist. This gives butterflies a genuine source of water and minerals they specifically seek out beyond nectar, a small addition that meaningfully increases both how many butterflies visit and how long they linger once they arrive. Fertilizing and pruning both play a role in sustaining a genuinely productive butterfly garden throughout the season. A balanced fertilizer applied at planting time supports strong establishment, though it's worth noting that heavily fertilized plants can sometimes produce foliage that's less palatable or nutritious to host plant caterpillars specifically. So, a lighter, more natural feeding approach genuinely serves your garden's dual purpose better than aggressive fertilizing, aimed purely at maximizing bloom size. Pruning and deadheading remain valuable for extending nectar flower bloom production. Regularly removing spent flowers on zinnias and other repeat bloomers keeps fresh nectar sources available throughout the season, but it's genuinely important to leave your host plants largely unpruned during active caterpillar season. Trimming back parsley or milkweed while caterpillars are actively feeding on it obviously defeats the entire purpose. Patience with a somewhat chewed-looking host plant during peak caterpillar activity is a genuine part of successful butterfly gardening. Even with careful planning, beginners occasionally run into a few common problems specific to butterfly gardening, so let's troubleshoot the most frequent ones. If you're seeing plenty of nectar flowers blooming, but genuinely few butterfly visitors, double-check whether you've included any host plants at all. A garden offering only nectar sources will attract passing butterflies, but won't encourage them to stay and establish a genuine breeding population in your yard. If your milkweed or other host plants look significantly chewed and damaged, this is genuinely a good sign rather than a problem. It means caterpillars are actively feeding, and the plant will generally recover once the caterpillars have moved through their feeding stage. Resist the urge to treat this damage with any pesticide, which would genuinely kill the very caterpillars you're trying to support. If you've used any pesticides in your yard previously, even for unrelated pest problems, be aware that residual chemicals can genuinely harm or kill butterflies and caterpillars. Transitioning to natural pest management methods throughout your entire yard, not just your dedicated butterfly bed, genuinely matters for supporting a healthy population. And if you're not seeing monarchs specifically despite planting milkweed, remember that monarch populations follow genuine migratory patterns across the country. Timing and regional location both affect whether monarchs pass through your specific area during their annual journey. Patience across multiple seasons, combined with continuing to provide reliable habitat, genuinely gives migrating monarchs the best chance of finding and using your garden when they do pass through. What makes building a garden specifically to attract butterflies such a genuinely rewarding project for beginners is how it transforms passive flower watching into active, living engagement with nature. Rather than simply admiring static blooms, you're creating genuine habitat that supports an entire life cycle. Watching eggs become caterpillars, caterpillars become chrysalises, and chrysalises finally emerge as adult butterflies, a remarkable, genuinely educational process that unfolds naturally once you provide the right conditions. It's also worth remembering that a single backyard garden, however well planned, is genuinely part of something larger. Many communities across the country now participate in certified butterfly waystation programs and pollinator corridor initiatives. connecting individual home gardens into a broader network of habitat that genuinely supports migrating and resident butterfly populations at a regional scale. Your own small planting, once registered or simply shared with neighbors doing similar work nearby, becomes a meaningful piece of a genuinely larger conservation effort rather than an isolated project. So this season, plant a few reliable nectar flowers like zinnias and coneflower, but don't stop there. Add milkweed for monarchs, and a bit of extra parsley or dill for swallowtails, and watch your garden transform from simply beautiful into genuinely alive with activity. You'll likely find that watching that first butterfly emerge from its chrysalis in your own backyard becomes one of the most memorable moments your garden ever gives you. And once you've experienced it firsthand, it's genuinely hard to look at flower gardening the same way again. If you love learning about seasonal flowering plants, vegetables, gardening tips, and nature care, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nature Nurture Hub, your home for year-round garden inspiration. Let's keep growing together.